What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and we have some rugby league to talk about, some real rugby league. We have the Indigenous All-Stars versus the Maori team, and we also have a bunch of trial games to go over as well, guys. So I'm super excited for this, guys. Let's do it. Now, I will be doing the Indigenous All-Star game first, and I will go in that game in a little bit more depth with that one. I have a couple of bets down on this one, guys, so I absolutely cannot wait. We're going to see a game with actual defense, you know, not a million reserves. It's going to be absolutely awesome, guys. And then when we get to the other games, guys, like I said, not interested in results. I'm going to whiz through it real quick. I'm essentially looking at just players I'm looking to see if we're in shape or look good. New emerging guys for my super coach. How some halves combinations maybe looking, all that sort of stuff. So we're just looking at stuff that's, because remember, I've still got to do my full top 8 video, so I want to make sure my decisions are right, and I like to look at a few trial games, a couple trial games before I fully lock in my top 8 and my full ladder predictions for that one, guys. I actually take it pretty damn serious, all right? So I'll be doing that, and like I said, I'll be talking about, I have this team here, but if these guys look good, I might bump them up, might bump them down. I've already got my list and where they are roughly. So we'll talk a little bit like that about that, and then just like if these guys are looking good, I might bump them up. And wow, I didn't know they had that much depth. I.e. the Canberra Raiders on the weekend, I didn't know they had that much depth in the back line. So that's definitely a plus for me. Stuff like that, guys. So we'll just break it down like that. But let's get into the Indigenous All-Stars game, guys, and let's just do the bets straight off the bat. What's going on here? Oh, I know what's going on. All right, so let's just do our bets straight off the bat, guys. Now, all my bets are on Dabble, guys. If you do want to join Dabble, if you're not a member of Dabble, use the link in the description to join, or use code SNAG when you join. Usually get a bit of a freebie when you do, guys. And you can also follow all my bets on there. Copy if you want. I'm going to show you guys how I put bets together throughout the year. I'm going to do some how to punt on NRL videos and all that sort of stuff. But if you couldn't be bothered, you just want to copy me, just follow me there. It's MonsterSnag, guys. Now, first one is my traditional double up, guys. Now, we don't have a ton of data to go off on these ones, guys, but let's just go with it anyway. Now, I just really like the Maori All-Star team to win, so I've just taken them to win, and then the Indigenous All-Stars to score at least 8.5 points. Now, since this game's been on, the Indigenous team's always scored over 8.5 points, but as we'll go through the team list in a minute, you'll see why I've picked the Maori team in this one. Now, for my bigger bet. Now, I've gone 3 legs on this one, but the only reason I have is so I could booster on Dabble. Best feature, I love that about Dabble. I've gone AKP and Kalen Ponga to score tries and over 31.5 points, guys. So AKP outside Whiten, deadly. Even if he's not, let's say they do happen to swap sides and there's Brian Kelly, whatever, that speed on the edge he has, and he scores pretty much every try. He's pretty much got a perfect strike rate with tries and games. I think he can get one. Kalen Ponga playing behind Royce Hunt, Fisher Harris and Leo Thompson. Like, that's just unfair. That's going to be... All they need to do is... Jeremy Marshall King's a very good dummy half as well. Royce, Fisher Harris or Leo Thompson wins a play the ball, gets a quick, fast play the ball, pass the ball to Kalen Ponga. He's either going to create points for someone else or score them. So that's my theory behind that one. Now, I've gone over 31.5 points just so I could get the 3 legs and boost it. $5.62 on that one. I absolutely love it. I think we could go 2 from 2 on this one. I really do. All right. Now, let's have a quick look at the team list, guys. Now, the funny thing is, whenever the Indigenous and the Maori All-Stars release their teams, I'm always, oh, Maori's going to win this easily. But when you break it down to the 17 players, like, the Indigenous boys always have such a good 17. Like, Maori's always put up, in my opinion, a better squad. Probably a little deeper. But when you just break it down to the 17s, wow. That Indigenous team looks goddamn good. We have Munro, we have Hamiso, we have Brian Kelly, AKP, Jaden Campbell, Peru. There could be an issue. I've never seen him play before. Shaq Mitchell, Connor Watson, Josh Kerr, Dylan Lucas, Curran, and Peru. Tallis Tunkin, Brett Naden, Sullivan, and Jacob Alik. Okay, so then we get to the Maori team. Like, this is deep. We have Kalen Ponga, Warbrick, Gagai, Hiroti. I don't even know who that is. Doesn't have an NRL profile yet. Oh, yes, he does. Born in 99 and 95 kilos. Nothing really about him, though. And then we have CNK in the halves and Cody Nikarima, which is why I think in the offensive, over the halfway line, Kalen Ponga is going to be receiving a lot of ball. That's just what I think with these two halves here. Not super creative halves or anything like that. Nikarima is a bit, but I think Kalen Ponga is going to be running a lot. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. I just can't wait to see Kalen Ponga do the haka. I don't think I've ever seen him do it, so that's going to be pretty damn cool. We get to the forwards. I mean, this is where the magic happens. Royce Hunt, he absolutely carved up in last year's one. Jeremy Marshall-King, Fisher Harris, Jordan Ricky, LeBound, and Leo Thompson. That is just silly. Kinney on the bench, Jazz Tavanga, Dockery Clay, and Curtis Moran. Damn, I missed him. Xavier Wilson on the bench in the reserves. Give Xavier a run. Come on, lads. Yeah, like I said, guys, I just... Kalen Ponga playing off the back of this pack. I mean, look, this... Shaq Mitchell always impresses me, like just because he doesn't look like a first grader. Just look, you know what I mean? He's a big boy. He doesn't look athletic, but he's nice. Kerr's solid, Corin's solid, but it's just not quite on this level. So expect the Maldies to win through the middle. Plenty of leg speed and X factor coming off the bench, and then you just got that ace in the hole with Kalen Ponga. Now Hamaso does his best work. I mean, he's a gun. He's all across the park. But in broken play, when the guys are, you know, stuff like that, I don't know if there is a ton of broken play. Maldies have actually defended really hard in these games. That it's not like they take it very seriously. I don't know if he's going to have a ton of opportunities, but he's going to kill it. You know that. He's going to be absolutely electric. But I just think KP will have the better run of the green of the two fullbacks creatively. And I think it's a solid team. It's a really good team the Indigenous boys have put up. But I really like the Maldies in this one, guys. So taking the Maldies to win. You've already heard my bets, guys. Slap them in. Let's do it. Let's make some money. Hell yeah. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you have subbed and all that sort of stuff as well. We're closing in on 10K, boys. Really want to hit it. I want to hit it before State of Origin time. All right. So I think we've got about 1,200 to go. 1,800 to go or something like that. Let's lock it in, boys. So shoot us a sub. It really means a lot. Shoot a like and all that sort of stuff, guys. Really helps the channel grow and stuff. All right, so let's go through these really quick, guys. We'll go through each one, have a look at the team list really quickly, and just talk about what I'm looking at. Now, also too, guys, I would love to see, I'm not used to doing all this stuff. I haven't done many videos lately, but I would love to see who you think is going to win the Māori All-Star game as well, guys. Māori Indigenous All-Star game as well, guys. So slap that in the comments too, guys. I love seeing your guys chat in the comments. It really makes my day sometimes. Not when you're mean to me. We have the Raiders versus Sharkies. We have the Knights versus the Eels. We have the Cowboys versus the Dolphins. We have the Warriors versus Storm. We have the Rabbitohs versus Sea Eagles. Broncos, Titans. Bulldogs, West Tigers, St George, Roosters. Now, we have a couple of pretty good games, and we have a couple of smelly ones. Now, I'm not going to read out these team lists just because they're so long. We've got a lot. Like I said, I don't want you guys watching. This should not be an hour-long video. Let's hum through it. But Sharkies field a pretty goddamn strong team, and solve the Raiders. This should be a pretty solid hit out. These guys do go to Vegas, so that, I dare say we'll probably get a good 15-20 minutes of some real good footy. I cannot wait to see what AFB looks like. Now, I saw the picture went viral of him passing the ball right now. As an ex-bodybuilder, that position when you're doing that, that's about as good as you can look. That angle, look, I mean, even look at my scrawny arms look big on the side. You do look pretty good. So I'm actually interested to see if he does look that good, or if it was just the angle and some nice lighting on the sweaty arm, giving him the big delts and all that sort of stuff. See if he does look quite that good. I'm interested to see how Big Papa looks, and really interested to see how Trey Mooney looks as well, because I've identified him quite early, and he looks nice to me. He looks like a slightly smaller version of almost like a Nelson. He's a big boy, but still has relatively good agility and leg speed for his size. Big boy. So I can't wait to see him. But the thing I'm really looking at, two things I'm really looking at most is this thing right here. Been pretty vocal on I don't think Nico should be not running the team, but the half. I actually think Trindle and Atkinson could do a better job. I'd love in this game if he brought just give this a crap. Fitzgibbon, if you're watching, 15, 20 minutes in, bring Atkinson into the halves, get Will Kennedy off. We all know Will Kennedy can play fullback. Put Nico Hines in there, give him a run at fullback, give Atkinson and Trindle the reins in the halves, get him to play a good 10 odd minutes with AFB, Oregon Kafusi, McInnes, how the forward pack's going to look. Please, for the love of God, just do that. Please. That would be absolutely incredible. But super interested to see how these boys look, because this right here is whether they're going to do any better this year. Everyone's like, AFB is going to add. No, of course he's going to add. These guys here, sorry, my big fat head's in the way. These guys here are going to be whether the Sharks win the comp or not. No offence to AFB, but I don't think a front rower, adding a better front rower than you had, it's not like they had no front rowers, is going to help. I think these guys have to compete at a Nathan Cleary, Cam Munster, Jerome Luai, Jerome Hughes level. And that's how I think they win a comp. So that's really what I'm looking at. Really interested to see how Kaya Weeks goes as well with a full preseason at fullback. It's been a really weird position for the Canberra Raiders. They keep putting Rapana in there. Then they had Sebastian Chris in there. Both did okay jobs, not fullbacks. So I'm really interested to see how they go and how good Canberra looked last week against the Penrith Panthers. I'm really bullish on the Canberra Raiders. I really am. So really interested in this one, guys. I'm more interested in this game than a lot of the other ones. Like I said, very strong teams. Absolutely cannot wait. Now on to a bit of a poo-poo game. We have the Newcastle Knights versus the Parramatta Eels. Now we are just looking at, obviously, Longy. I'm not too interested in anything else going on here. Mitchell Moses isn't still playing, obviously, but just a couple things to see if Parramatta, again, I've got them quite low on the ladder to see if I'm going to bump them up or not, because I've been hearing a lot of positivity around the Parramatta Eels. I need to see this dude right here, Offan Gowie, play as good as he can, has. I want to see Wiramu Greg, because he played a few games last year. I was like, damn, he's actually looks like a starting front rower. There was a game last year, I think it was Junior Paulo and RCG were out, and he's their starting prop, number 8, and he's back. He was great. I was like, oh my God, this guy's actually really good. So for me, for Parramatta to go good, we all know a lot has to click, but Junior Paulo's going to need some help. They can't expect him to be pumping out 65 minutes in the middle, taking ridiculous amount of carries. I want to see Offan Gowie, Wiramu Greg, and also this dude here, Talangi, and I'd never even thought of this, but Charlie Geimer as well. He, to me, looks like a bit of a country bumpkin Tom Gilbert. If he can be 80% of what Gilbert is to the Dolphins and to the Cowboys, was he before there? They got one. So that's what I'm really looking at. Just being real, guys, I am not interested in a damn thing in this Newcastle team. I have them where I have them. I don't care. I'm just hoping that we see some cool talent that we haven't heard of before. I guess Leo Thompson's brother, hopefully we see him get a bit of a run or something. But besides that, guys, I do not give a flying about this one. I really don't. It's just, we know what Frizzell's going to get us. Kai Porce, it's just Brodie Jones, Hetherington at front row. Who cares? Seriously. Hopefully we'll unearth some new talent. Let's move to the next game. We have the Cowboys versus the Dolphins. Fins up, baby. Where is this game? Cairns. Ooh. It's going to be steamy up there. Ouch. All right, guys. So, what do I have here? Now, okay. So, again, this game here, pretty mud. Not really interested in a whole heap that's going on. Cows, really not interested at all what's going on here for the Dolphins. A lot of players out. I am interested to see how Paulo fits in a little bit. I'm interested to see how Colin Hess looks and Thomas McKelly looks. Now, Thomas McKelly killed the preseason last year and then got no game time in the main season. He came on for a stint in the preseason last year and was unstoppable. I was like, man, is he unfit? What's going on? Why isn't he getting game time? to me, Cowboys, I thought Taumalolo and McLean looked solid last year, but they needed... So Neem came on and looked good as well, but I felt like they just needed one more genuine front rower that did well. So just really interested to see how these two boys look. These two get similar to the Parramatta thing. They just need that one extra guy to just play his best footy. I'm really interested in these two here. So that's all I'm really interested in with the Cowboys team. Not many other people playing. But if I see... I have Cowboys just outside the 8 at the moment. If I see Colin Hess look like 2020 Colin Hess, I'm probably taking the Cowboys into the 8. And if we get them both to fire, I probably will put them in my 8. But if they don't, and they look average... I might have to leave them outside my 8, guys. And Dolphins a little bit the same. I've got them just around that 8, but I just can't put them in. As from what I've seen so far, guys. All right? So, that's all I'm looking at on that one, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Warriors versus the Storm. Tuapiki versus Farlongo. Bro, Farlongo's playing footy. I'm watching. Now... Not the strongest team for the Storm. Great to see if Wishart looks as good as he did last year. Interested to see how obviously Stefano looks in the new kit. Lazarus, so I'm interested to see what he looks like. Jesus, this team is absolutely deep AF. They're probably going to bend the Warriors over here, even though the Warriors have fielded a better team. Wow. Look, now Warriors, Storm, again, all I'm really looking for in this one is I'm interested in Tuapiki, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, sort of, but it's just still the halves. I didn't like it. I didn't like this last week. It wasn't bad. I liked Metcalf demanding the ball. He just looks like a 6. He looks like he could towel up some lower teams, but get absolutely made look silly against like the Storm and Penrith. That's what he looks like to me. You know, the whole great kick, Metcalf, next kick's out on the full. Then he's kicked a 40-20. Now he's kicked it dead. It just looked a little rocks and diamonds. And just interested to see the depth here as well, guys, from the forward pack. And just Jackson Ford. Jackson Ford, I think Warriors fans will back me up here, was the worst forward in the game last year. Not last name Ford, like Ford. A rugby league player that plays in the forward pack. He was absolutely awful. He has to be better. Real crossroads year for me. If he goes back to 2023 form, I think the Warriors look nice. If he's just absolute arse again, they have to rely on one of these guys to step up and sort of do something. I don't know, it becomes very hard again. So just really looking at this halves combination here really, really closely, guys. Looking how Roger looks. Mate, I'd love to see Roger at fullback for a period of time, see what he looks like there too. I'm excited. To see what... I'm really, really hoping the Warriors do well. But again, I've got them just outside my 8. And I need to see something for me to put them in. I was going to put them in just for sheer hope because I want the Warriors to do good. It's good for rugby league. I just love rugby league, so it's good for rugby league growth in New Zealand. And I love fans who show up to games having successful teams because I think that's very important as well. So I'm just interested to see how it plays out. But not super interested in the game, but I'll be watching this halves combination like an absolute hawk. And Wade Egan, just stop tackling people around their hips, please. You can't have 6 HIAs a month if you want the Warriors to go good. So I'm going to look to see where Wade Egan's tackling. Can someone teach him how to tackle around the legs or up high, please? Stop tackling around Islanders' hips. That's a good way to go to sleep. Bunnies, Sea Eagles. Now, the Bunnies have fielded an absolute... This looks like bloody line up to get your... a taxi cab line or something. Like this is not good players here. It's a very this is not a good team. This is a dead set reserve grade team. Absolutely awful. So not interested in the goddamn thing that goes on here, guys. But obviously we'll just keep an eye out for someone that just comes out of nowhere. One of these, these blank profiles you've never heard of before, and you're, damn, who's he? And you look him up on NRL.com, and then, oh damn. Now, as far as the Sea Eagles go, one, I really want to see what Hopewadi looks like, but this one here, so their forwards, I felt like they overused Nathan Brown. I was about to say Dylan Brown a bit too much. I think he's a real impact player. I think they were a front row short. They just had a couple injuries. They actually had a pretty good front row rotation. That's had some injured at the same time. I think Simply and what's the other big name? Paseka were both injured at the same time for 2 or 3 weeks and stuff like that. So really interested to see what Takeaho looks like coming back. Now, I want to give this dude a rap, man. That was it 18-19 Roosters won? 18-19? He doesn't get enough raps for how good he was in that 18-19 2-year period. He was number one, a goal kicker. Did a lot of goal kicking. I know did Cooper take over? I can't remember, but anyway, he's a pretty good goal kicker especially for a front rower. He was his size and light feet. He was very similar to prime Jason Tamalolo, not quite as powerful though. But the way he bang before the line, get to a seam, play the ball off, he was low key. He was incredible, man. I couldn't believe people weren't rapping him. He was absolutely incredible. So we'll have to see how he looks coming back. Apparently he did have a few injuries and all that sort of stuff. I don't follow Super League at all. Could have been the best player, could have been the worst player. I don't know. But if they can get something out of him, if they can get 70% of 2018, 2019 Takeaho, they've got themselves a bloody awesome front row rotation. We all know how good Paseka is. Simply, that they could do something. They really could. I currently have them in my top 4 with a big asterisk over it with Tommy Turbo's health. Now, another reason why I'm closely looking at Lehigh is, whether we like it or not, there's a very good chance Turbo, even if there's a chance he's out for a month, they can't go 0-4 when that happens, if they want to finish in the top 4, if they want to be a genuine threat. They have to go 2-2. That's really what you're looking at worst. You don't want to go even 1-3 in a month, So, really interested to see. I was very interested in him. He looked like one of the better Hopowadis we've seen, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. But I'm keeping a close eye on him. Takeaho, see if Simply and Paseka in shape, because they could have they were big and powerful last year, and they blew teams off the park quite a lot. So if they can do that, then have Tommy Turbo out the back. Good night. Super interested in this one. Broncos Titans. Now, with the Titans first, I've got Titans for the spoon, but the main reason I have them for the spoon is, from all reports, AJ Brimson, Campbell are going to be the halves with, is it Keaney, the fullback? They've essentially got 3 fullbacks in their spine. Without being disrespectful, 3 average to slightly above average fullbacks. They're not. And then Verrills at 9. That is the worst spine. I'm not saying AJ Brimson and Campbell are bad players. I'm not saying, is it Keanu Kenny, right? I'm bloody spacing. Yeah. It's just not. It's not well constructed. All awesome players, but that's your spine. 3 fullbacks and a very injury-prone dummy half. Head knocks, all that sort of stuff. I'm not feeling it. So I'm really interested to see what AJ Brimson and Kieran Foran look. That, to me, would be better. Man, sometimes you've got 3 or 4 blokes that are NRL standard for one position, and 2 of them or 1 of them, whatever, has to sit on the sidelines and watch and run water. It's just the way it is. So I'm really interested to see what happens there. Not too interested in anything else other than maybe how Fafita looks, stuff like that. But as far as the Broncos go, I'm really interested in seeing how Big Ben looks. I'd love to see if Ben is good enough this year to contribute to the Brisbane Broncos. Probably a front rower short last year. They had them full strength, but obviously got injuries. Really interested to see how Brendan Priakura looks. I hope they play him on the right side. I think he's better on the right edge than the left. So super interested to see what goes on there. And that's about it, really. That's really about it. I'd love to see, it's sort of interesting to see how Hetherington looks as well. Tyson Smoothie been given the first crack there. Above Billy Walters and Moser. Yeah, not much else going on in this one, guys, but just really interested to see what they look like. And Broncos always have some pretty crazy depth, so pretty interested to see what's going on down here as well. I thought it said Tristan Saylor. Tristan Powell. They've named all 28. Wow, full on. Bulldogs, West Tigers. Skelton getting his first run against his own club. How interesting. Now, Doggie's a little light in the middle. We know Burton has that big old boot of his. Now, he kicked them out of trouble a lot, and that's was helped them a lot. So obviously they need a bit of oomph through the middle. Now they haven't named Satili, but he's not a real middle for me anyway. One sec. Just heard the basketball start kicking in on the background. Really to see what Sam Hughes looks like, how he's come in. I was a big fan of what Harry Hayes looked like. Super interested to see what Tom Amone looks like. And also Zion as well, if he gets any game time at all. Now, everyone, Doggies fans, I know they jump up and down when they sign players, and so they probably overestimate them a bit. Just don't forget, guys, Tom Amone was cut from 2 clubs, one being the Tigers. I know he's been in the Super League. I wouldn't be hanging my hat on him being successful right away. And the other one was to Zion. I know we heard a lot of positives about him, but he played 15 games last year in New South Wales Cup on the bench. He wasn't even a starter in New South Wales Cup. So, we've got these middles now. It's like, well, are they NRL standard? We're about to find out if they're like New South Wales Cup standard. I wouldn't call this a very good team, but yeah, so pretty interested to see what happens here, guys. But yeah, just that's what they really needed. So interested to see how they look. What else we got here? Blake Wilson. That's really it, guys. I'm really caring about here. Now, interested to see what De Silva looks like, because they're going to have a good spine for them to do well. What have I written down for the Tigers? Nothing really. I'm not that interested in the Tigers if I haven't written anything down for it. Just Lockie Galvin, maybe. Just have a look how he's looking, if he's put on any size. By the looks of his pre-year photo, that jersey's looking a little baggy on him still. He's not filling it up like old Harry Hayes is. Look at Harry Hayes. Look at the neck. Look at those traps, lad. Look at those traps. He must have been sitting in the gym doing that. So look, man, super excited for this one, because I do want to see if Tigers can get off the bottom. I'm on the fence with the Doggies too, because going back through last year, I left 2024 very positive about the Bulldogs. I'm a little less on them now, just because of a few things that happened. I didn't actually realise a lot what happened. Someone told me, but it was just stuff like a lot of their wins. There was key injuries to a lot of positions. I didn't even notice. Titans, Tino went down. They played the Wars. All back 3 went down. When they kept it close against the Panthers, Cleary went down. You know, like even the Jack Bird one, we remember that. And then they scored 5 tries on Eisenhuth through that era. A lot of teams taking it a lot more seriously now. I'm not as sold on them as I was at the end of 2024, because I left 2024 with a pretty positive taste in my mouth about the Bulldogs. I'm a little, I don't know now. I'm still have them in my 8, but just not confidently. It's very hard to stay in the top 8. So, you lose 2 games more than you're 12th or something, you know. So, yeah, super interested though, guys. This should be a real good one. Dragons, Roosters. What have I written down for this one? I I'm just fascinated by the Dragons in general. Like, look at all these dudes. So many new guys here. Lockie Ilias, Flanagan, Clint Gutherson. You know, it's just Val Holmes. It's just anyone that was on the market they bought. It's just wild. So I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. Bit of a circus, but hey, I am interested in on the Roosters side, Sandon Smith and Chant Townsend. That's going to be their halves for the start of the year. So just interested to see how they look, because I have them out of my 8 at the moment. But if they click and look nice, you know, maybe I'll put them in. Mark, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name yet. I need to hear it pronounced a bit more before. Pretty interested to see what he looks. And look at the front. Look at the forward pack from the Roosters still after they lost everyone. I mean, White, Lino, Butcher, Radley, Suawong. This Va'a dude too. Oh, it's both Va'as. It's Va'athon. These boys have some genetics, boys. Damn. But yeah, so like I said, St. George, just fascinated by the whole thing. Roosters looking to see how their halves look. Their forward pack's probably going to be just fine. It's going to match a lot of forward packs. And Mark N, looking to see how he looks as well, guys. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's it. We're all done. We whipped through it pretty quick, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to keep you around here for an hour to talk a bit about a bit of pre-season footy, but I spoke about what I wanted to speak about. And yeah, how good. Just one last thing I did forget to talk about. If you do want to join my tipping comp too, guys, I will leave a link to the description in that one in the bottom of the comment section here, guys. Or I'll put the code up as well. So super excited for that one, guys, as well. Can't wait to see who wins that one. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.